What's up, guys? It's Lord Both here for another video, and wow, it was a good 24 hours, right? That's how much time, approximately, it took for DICE and EA to mess up everything when it came to Battlefield 6. Okay, that's a bit of an overstatement. They haven't messed up everything yet, but they're certainly not making their game the most user-friendly possible, or the most accessible possible. But weirdly enough, that doesn't seem to be greatly affecting their numbers, and that's where we're going to start. Because this comes to us from PC Gamer, and it's entitled Battlefield 6's Open Beta is already the most popular Battlefield of all time on Steam, and the platform's 44th most played game ever. You heard that right. Not 44th most played open beta ever. 44th most played game ever. Because as the article states here, at the time of writing, Battlefield 6 has just piped the 300,000 player mark, sitting at a pretty 308,310 concurrent, which is naturally also its all-time peak. The beta only opened a couple of hours ago, so this is a little bit further. I think it crossed 320,000 last time I saw. That makes it the 44th most played game on Steam of all time by concurrent players, right below Elden Ring Night Reign at 43, and of all things, Skyrim at 45. And my only question there is, which edition of Skyrim? Because there's been like 10. And as it states right here, that makes it, by some margin, Steam's most played Battlefield ever. Battlefield 42's open beta is Steam's second most played entry in the series, but at a paltry all-time peak of 156,665 players. Battlefield 6 has already near enough double that in just a couple of hours of availability. So yeah, open beta for Battlefield doing massive numbers. And by all statistic standards, this is an overwhelming success for both DICE and EA. The unfortunate part is it's not all been roses from the get-go. And people are already running into problems with this game. And the main problem people seem to be running into is caused by the anti-cheat software they're using for it. Because this comes to us from IGN, and it's entitled Battlefield 6 Open Beta forces PC gamers to mess about with their BIOS to enable Secure Boot, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is next. And if you're the kind of person that is like, what the hell is a BIOS and what the hell is Secure Boot? My response is, exactly. The article states if you're trying to play Battlefield 6 Open Beta on your PC, you might have run into a problem. Secure Boot is not enabled. Yeah, a little pop-up message that comes up when people try to start the open beta game. PC gamers hoping to play DICE's latest now open beta early access is live have no choice but to enable Secure Boot on their PC. And a cursory glance at social media, subreddits, and IGN's own comments suggests some are having trouble with it. EA has published a user guide for how to enable Secure Boot on the PC, and promoted that guide across social media. It's a guide I myself had to use to boot the Battlefield 6 open beta. But it certainly requires a degree of confidence as it involves tinkering with a part of a computer not all PC gamers will instantly be familiar with, the BIOS. Couple things here. 1. Imagine having to be a company and publishing a guide on how to turn on Secure Boot on your BIOS just so people can play the open beta of your game. You know, something that's supposed to, I don't know, be a soft opening and test certain problems. Maybe this is one of those certain problems that if your Javelin anti-cheat software is going to force people to do this, become essentially computer software and hardware experts, then yeah, maybe we haven't got the formula just right yet. Imagine being a kid who happens to be a PC gamer because, I don't know, his family's wealthy or whatever. Not that you don't have to be wealthy to also be a PlayStation or Xbox gamer at this point with $700 plus consoles. But let's say that the kid is a PC gamer. Do you think him or his parents know how to access the BIOS on their computer or are in any way comfortable doing that? No, and so they miss out on playing the Battlefield 6 beta and hope that this is resolved by the time the full game comes out, or they're just not going to buy it. The article continues, there are things like TPM 2.0 which must be turned on to deal with, and you need to make sure your Windows disk is GPT and not MBR. Not everyone will know what these are. Yeah, no f***ing shit. All this before you can even enable Secure Boot, and then you might not even be able to enable it anyway, which then means you need to refer to your manufacturer for guidance. Just the thing everybody wants to do just to play a video game is having to go on to their computer's manufacturer's website to figure out how to enable Secure Boot just so they can play Call of Duty's little brother. Oh, and by the way, this is coming to Call of Duty 2 because, as the article states here, just yesterday, Activision announced the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 7 will require the exact same thing, Secure Boot enabled. And if you think the hype for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is low, it just got even lower with this. By the way, we're glossing over the fact here that this is an open beta, and within 24 hours, they have major problems with cheating and are banning cheaters in lobbies already. Like we have video evidence of this already. People cheating in Battlefield 6. So exactly how well is this Javelin anti-cheat working? I guess they're catching them, but I mean, they're still getting through. First off, there's going to be a lot of people who are not really keen on turning on Secure Boot and TPM 2.0 and letting DICE and EA have access to their BIOS. And I know they don't really gain access per se directly, but it's still part of the trusting process between the BIOS and the actual program. And should DICE or EA get hacked in that exact moment, if they don't say, have enough white hat hackers to counterbalance and catch people who are trying to farm that data or gain access to your system, there's no real telling exactly what harm might be done. And that's on the malicious end. On the non-malicious end, there's just the idea of anytime you tinker with your BIOS, which for some of you who don't know what a BIOS is essentially the hidden menu of your computer where you can literally program parts of the hardware pieces in your computer to get them to run or boot up in a specific way, can be very dangerous for your system. You can permanently wipe or alter certain parts of your computer. And at the very worst, you might brick certain things like your motherboard, which tends to be, important to any kind of functionality at all. The thing is, I think most people, even PC gamers, are normie enough or not as autistic about these kinds of things enough to know exactly what to do or how dangerous this might be, but are capable of following guides that they can get this certain access things done. Or if not, they're going to do what most people do, which is give up. If they do the latter, you're going to see Battlefield sales harmed a little bit when it actually comes out, if they don't do anything to try to make this an easier process. If the former is more common, then I think people will be just fine with picking up Battlefield 6 and not really know the danger that is potentially posed to their computer doing the certain things they have done or giving access to certain things that they have given access to. At the end of the day, I think this is one of those niche things that could end up being a really big problem that most people won't actually see until it becomes a really big problem. And until then, most people are probably going to overlook it and go with the flow, which doesn't give me confidence that anything really significant will be done about it by EA, DICE, or especially Activision. And if there is going to be hacking problems or security breaches or any kind of gigantic mess ups whatsoever, it's way more likely to happen with Activision. Because as little as I trust EA and DICE to care about something, I trust Activision even less. Because they can't even care enough to give us something besides Black Ops 7. Which is one of the reasons why more people are interested in Battlefield 6 this year. Ironically enough. But hey, those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it, and we'll talk to you again later.